Chiefs Kingdom, it's a nice weekend when you just get to sit back, relax, and watch football and not have to worry about your team losing or winning. I think that's kind of nice. Now, do I miss watching the Chiefs? 100%. But we're going to fill that for you right here on this Saturday by looking at some Chiefs questions that we got in our Tuesday live show, which we want you to be a part of. So make sure you come join us Tuesdays at 3 p.m. But let's get into some Chiefs questions here with the bye week right now. Terry Singleton has our first one. Shout out to my guy, Terry. Appreciate you joining us. He says, do you think the defense is the best in the NFL? Well, I like that question, Terry, because two people think so. Patrick Mahomes said, I think it's the best defense in the NFL. And I quote in an interview. Travis Kelce said, this is the best defense I have played with in the entirety of time I've been with the Chiefs, and I've been here for a while. Well, there's two guys right there. I think it's either them or the Ravens. Those two are the two top defenses. I think talent-wise, the 49ers should be up there, but they're not performing to the level that they could be. But as of right now, if I had to pick a defense in the NFL, I'm picking the Chiefs. They just held the Miami Dolphins, the best scoring offense in the NFL, to 14 points. I like that. Tony Fuentes with our second question. Tony, a staple here on the Chiefs Report. He says, I hope Richie James stays with the Chiefs. Funny you brought that up because Richie James actually can come back, and he probably will come back in the Chiefs' next game, which will be this now a little over a week from now on Monday when they take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Monday Night Football. But I hope he stays as well. Right now, he's around the wide receiver 5-6 role with Hardman and Watson, although honestly, there's not really a role to this at all. It's more or less like, depth fills everybody. I like Richie. I want him to have a full, 3 weeks because he never really got to hit his stride. He had that first game, and then he had the muff punt versus the Jaguars, and then since then, he's just kind of been not the greatest. We haven't seen him, though. Hopefully, he'll come, get some games going. But either way, we appreciate the question, Tony. I hope Richie stays as well. Glenn Husky comes in with a question saying, do you think they'll raise the snap counts for Watson, Rice, and Scantling? So Scantling has kind of been at the normal snap count for what he is kind of signed up for. Watson and Rice, I think, will both get there. Rice is a rookie, and so it's about Andy Reid cutting loose on him, letting him go out there and play his game. And then Watson, it's injury-related. He had back-to-back weeks of 30%, or actually under 40% around that area of snap percentages, and that's mostly because of, well, to be quite honest with you, it just wasn't 100%. You can't go out there and throw a guy who is not 100%. It could just raise it for possibly more injuries. Excuse me. And we got Jason's burner account. I don't have a burner. I don't know what this is talking about. Appreciate the question saying, with the season halfway over, who is your mid-season Chiefs MVP? So I like this question a lot because I think there's a lot of guys you could maybe look at and say, man, he looks good or he looks good. Well, guess what? I'm going to go Trent McDuffie. It's kind of a surprising answer, but most valuable, he's been the most valuable in terms of defensive-wise, and the defense is what has won this team games. So I'm saying Trent McDuffie. I want to open up the question to you, though, because I think it's a fun topic to talk about. The bye week falling perfectly on the midway point in the season. Name your Chiefs mid-season MVP. Is it Patrick Mahomes still? Is it Travis Kelce? Is it Taylor Swift? I'm just kidding. Is it Trent McDuffie like me? Is it Chris Jones? Brian Cook? Let me know, is there somebody who is your mid-season most valuable player on the Chiefs? Kobe G. Day saying this question, who do you believe is our biggest threat currently in the whole NFL? Is it the Bengals or the Eagles or another team? Funny enough, if I'm watching football week in, week out, which, I am, I think it's the Ravens. They have Lamar Jackson, who's playing a really good year of football. The thing that they don't have is a running back, and that's simply because J.K. Dobbins got hurt for what seems like the freaking fifth time. In fact, it may be his fifth time. Fun story, I actually watched J.K. Dobbins play in high school. He got hurt in the game that I watched him play. Was out for the rest of the season. Guy's allergic to being healthy, but I think the Ravens are probably the most formidable. Eagles have looked okay. They haven't looked as good as their schedule and record has. 7-1, but overall they aren't playing like that team. They're just not playing like a team with only one loss. Another question here for Chiefs for LV. If T is a free agent, do they target him? I also feel like Amari Cooper would be a good target. So T is a free agent, and I think they could target him, but we run into the same problem with both Amari, with T, with everybody in this offseason. How much can you pay him? There's a lot of stuff that's going to be moved around. You may not have Chris Jones, which opens up a big area of cap space. I think they will target T. To what extent, though, I don't know. T is obviously a guy who, on the Bengals, is a wide receiver 1.5. On the Chiefs, he's a wide receiver 1. That is going to be the main topic, though, of this offseason, win or lose the Super Bowl. It's where can a wide receiver 1 come from? Can it come from the draft? Can it come from a free agent target? Well, we'll just kind of have to wait and see, but we appreciate your question, Chiefs for LV, as always. We also appreciate Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to tell you what. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports, and I just started playing it, and I'm really mad that it took me this long to get into it. It's the simplest way because all you have to do, you pick 2 or more players, then you pick more or less on their Prize Picks projected stats, then you choose flex or power play. I went with power play for my entries for tomorrow's game, as I have Trevor Lawrence with the more in passing yards, Jonathan Taylor with the more in rushing yards in the early game tomorrow with the New England Patriots taking on the Colts, funny enough, in Germany. Lamar Jackson, I got the more on passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns. I think he's going to get that maybe with just his legs. Guess what? All early games, 8:30 for Taylor, and then noon for Trevor and Lamar. I'm going to see if my entry hits real early on that day. Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. And with basketball in here, you can also combo your picks with NBA and NFL. So you saw I just had most NFL ones, but if you want to put a Prize Picks in today, you can pick an NBA guy tonight and maybe some college football going on as well. So make sure you go check it out at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/CLNS and CLNS is your code for a first deposit match of up to $100. Terry Singleton with another question saying, why does everyone want us to pick up a running back when we do have some really good running backs? I don't think really anybody's talking about running backs, to be honest. I think that it's, I agree with you. Isaiah Pacheco is insane. Jerick McKinnon caught a touchdown this week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was hurt, and Samaje Perine filled in, and he's fine. There's no reason to pick up a running back. I totally agree with you, Terry. I don't know why people are saying that. It makes no sense. There's really no reason for people to talk about that because it's just like you said. We've got really good running backs in the running back room depth. It's nice. Tony Fuentes with another question saying, look, Jace, let me be real. Honest, I think the wide receiver can make it to the big game. We got to do better. No more dropping the ball, no more fumbling. That's what championships teams do. 100%. I think that this wide receiver could get to the big game. I think they can get a Super Bowl, but can they win it? That's maybe the question you have to ask people, because when the lights shine bright, who's going to shine brighter? Kadarius Toney, funny enough, had a really good game. JS saying, think Kelce had a bounce-back game against the Eagles? I think he will. For a lot of reasons. The main one being, he's playing his brother. He's playing Jason Kelce. It's a brotherly reunion. It's a Super Bowl rematch. There's a lot of fun things going on. It's Monday Night Football primetime in Arrowhead. We're going to be live for it, by the way, so make sure you join us. But here's the thing. Guess what? Kelce does not usually have back-to-back bad games. It's not exactly what he does. So I think he has a good game. In fact, maybe go place your Prize Picks entries as soon as that's out on Travis Kelce, getting the more on his receiving yards and receiving touchdowns, because we know what's going to happen. For now, the Chiefs' leading receiver all time in franchise history. I'm telling you what, it is a nice thing to say. Okay, make sure you're subscribed for daily Chiefs content here. We're putting out the best content you're ever going to get for the Chiefs. We're making sure you're up to date on everything going on with, we got the Chiefs, we got rumors, we got news, we got live shows, which we're doing right now. Make sure you join us, again, 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. But that's pretty dang good. Another question here from Lennon Chase Ackerman saying, how do I work at Chat Sports? Well, you see, you got to sign a blood oath. I'm just kidding. All you got to do is just, be cool. Apply. Have fun. Talk on. Be Sam Brown. That's what you got to do. You got to be Sam Brown. Embody Sam Brown. Be a one-tier guy. Cool Mans has a question coming in saying, Who do you think are the odds? What do you think are the odds of us going to the Super Bowl 2 times in a row? I think very good. Like I just said, I think the Chiefs can get to the big game. Will they win it? That's where I get a little on the border. I think if Rashee Rice can kind of mold into the player that he is becoming, yes, they can. But if they cannot get Rashee Rice going, well, then maybe not. We'll have to see. Mary Mahomes. Yeah, you do. Is Rashee Rice the future wide receiver 1 of the Chiefs? Glad you brought this up because we were just talking about this, bro. I think he is. Because guess what? It's Rice time. It is Rice time. Dude has been exceptional this year out of SMU as a rookie, and he's honestly made some big plays. To me, he may already be wide receiver 1. His stats kind of say that. He's the best in terms of yardage if you take out Travis Kelce. Is Rice the Chiefs wide receiver 1 already? Maybe. I think so. Well, let me know. Type Y for yes if you think he is. Type in for no. It's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. Could he be the next wide receiver 1, or is he already on? Well, then type Y for yes, or type in for no. Tony Fuentes. I want Kadarius Toney to do better. I like KT, but haven't seen much, but I think he could do better. I agree. He has been used in some awkward play calling. He was, again, in the first game, they had him as the running back on the little snap to Blake Bell, pitched him. I don't really get it, bro. I don't get it, but I agree with you. I think Kadarius Toney has a lot of grit. And like I was saying, Kadarius Toney had an amazing game in the Super Bowl. He had a play of the game, actually, with that punt return. He'll get there. I don't know what happened to him, bro. He'll be fine, though. He'll be fine.